In the golden haze of 1930s, Nassau, where turquoise waves kissed the shore and secrets slipped through moonlit waters, there lived a boy named Tommy. His story wasn't famous, but it was unforgettable. A tale of shadows and the light that broke through. This is From Rum to Redemption, the bootlegger's son. Tommy was just 14 when he started running with the rum men. Skin sun-browned, hands quick, and always listening. He wasn't allowed to ask questions, just carry, count, and keep quiet. His father, Big Jack, was the king of the docks, a bootlegger whose name carried more weight than the barrels he moved. The boy grew up among shadows, dark crates, whispered deals, and the creak of boats slipping into the sea at night. But even in all that darkness, something in Tommy's heart stayed awake. A small voice, quiet but steady, whispering, "This isn't who you were meant to be." One morning, as Tommy delivered a parcel to a fisherman in Fox Hill, he heard singing, software sincere, different from the rowdy music he knew. Drawn by the sound, he stepped closer. A small wooden church stood open. Inside, just a few people and an older woman speaking with a kind fire in her voice. She didn't condemn. She simply said, "Even those walking in the deepest dark, God still sees them, still calls them by name." Tommy didn't step inside, but those words, they followed him. 2 nights later, a storm brewed. Not just in the skies, but in Jack's world. A big shipment, high risk, high pay. Jack turned to Tommy and said it was time. Time for the boy to ride the waves like a man. They sailed under cover of darkness, wind rising, waters churning. By midnight, the sea turned violent. Waves slammed the boat. Lightning tore the sky. A barrel rolled loose, smashing the deck. Tommy was thrown overboard. Salt in his eyes, thunder in his ears, he cried out, not to his father, not to the sea, but to a name he'd only heard once in that little church. "Jesus, help me." And then, a crate, floating, just enough to hold on. At sunrise, he washed ashore on a quiet quay, alive, alone. A passing fisherman found him days later and brought him back to Nassau. By then, the news had broken. Big Jack was arrested at the docks. The empire was gone. The legend, caged. Tommy walked back to the little church. The same singing met him at the door. This time, he stepped inside. He didn't have answers, just a bruised heart and a question. What now? And in that silence, he felt it. Not judgment, but welcome. Tommy changed. Slowly, sincerely. He stopped counting barrels and started counting blessings. He helped at the church, shared stories with other boys at the docks, the kind of stories that ended with hope, not handcuffs. One day, he visited the prison. He stood before his father, a man once larger than life, now broken behind bars. Tommy didn't accuse him, didn't curse him. He simply said, "I still love you, and so does God." Jack didn't say a word, but a tear slipped down his weathered cheek. And in that moment, something cracked open. Not just a heart, but a legacy. Tommy became a man of peace, a fisherman of souls, a light in the same streets where shadows once ruled. His life was redeemed. So can yours.